So why wouldn't I make the May 10th call? But I know where that comes from. Smack brought me out to the last battle in Atlanta. You know what I mean? But like I said, when I came over to ARP, I voiced my opinion. I didn't want to get caught up in a squabble shit.
Gotcha.
I'm a battle rapper, I do a service. My alliance is not to nobody but the culture.
So Eness speaks out about the politics over at RBE this time affecting a battle rapper. What surprises me a lot about this video is a lot of the comments that automatically try and compare the business of RBE with the business of URL. Oh, we need to keep the same energy. Oh, we need to keep the same energy. Not even realizing, bruh, that Enes himself made it clear. This is a completely different situation than a situation that the URL would be involved in. Completely different situation. And ARP very, very quickly nips it right in the bud, bruh. Very quickly addresses this narrative before it gets out of hand. Let's talk about it. You know, it might just be me and the way that I think and look at things, but I find it very interesting how this type of blog with this type of title, let's talk about the politics, Enes feels RBE is blase blah. I feel as if though this blog coming out after ARP drops a blog pretty much breaking down, revealing information as it pertains to battlers either being contractors or employees. I find it very interesting, and it might just be me who thinks that it's very weird that a blog like this would come out shortly after ARP drops a blog putting battle rappers on game to the politics in battle rap. So pretty much making battle rappers aware that they should know the difference as to whether or not they are a contractor or an employee. It almost seems like it's a tit for tat type of situation as it pertains to the narrative pumping. We all know how that works. We all know how that works, whatever the case is, blase blah. In this situation, Enes speaks out on RBE. Enes speaks out on the politics, or at least how he feels the politics are preventing him from battling over at RBE. Very interesting situation we have here. But one of the more interesting situations, right, is some of the comments that pop up under a video like this. A lot of people don't even think about things before they start to speak on things, right? Or say things. So for example, one of the things that was being said, right, under this video, we're going to go over it, we're going to get into the detail, was, oh, we need to keep the same energy for RBE that we have for URL. We need to keep the same energy that we have for RBE that we have for URL. This individual and individuals that think in this manner, right, aren't listening and aren't paying attention and aren't fully informed and don't have the details, even though it's right here in front of them in the video where Enes explains, still don't understand. Enes explains that he has a 3-battle contract with RBE. Enes explains that he did a situation with URL. Enes explains that he feels as if though him having done the situation with URL prevented him from being on this upcoming May 6th card where Big K and Murda Mook are headlining. This is what Eness feels. So Eness speaks about it and a blog drops saying, let's talk about the politics. Eness feels RBE is blase blah. In the comments, again, one of the things people were saying was we need to keep the same energy for for RBE that we do for the URL. First of all, this is not the same situation as one that would have happened on URL. If this situation happens on URL, Eness doesn't have the ability to move around. If Eness is on a 5-year contract or a multi-battle contract with the URL, Eness would not be able to battle on RBE. Now, on the other hand, Eness is in a multi-battle deal with RBE. Right? Eness, even though he is on a multi-battle deal with RBE, Eness was able to accept and do a situation on URL, a competitor league. When people say we need to keep the same energy, you need to understand first and foremost that this is not the same situation. If Eness was locked into a multi-battle deal with URL, he would not have even been able to do the situation with RBE. But Eness being locked into a multi-battle deal with RBE, he is able to move around and do situations in other places. Exactly what ARP was talking about in one of his previous blogs, where he says they're contractors and they can move around freely. Eness seems to simply have an issue with the fact that he's not on this upcoming May 6th card, which is where I feel like this problem is coming from, or Eness is even making it or trying to make it some kind of big deal. His issue comes in where he's not on this upcoming May 6th card. Now, that's not to say that Eness is not going to be on the upcoming August card or September card or October. That's not to say none of that. He just has an issue with the fact that he's not on this upcoming May 6th card, sorry. But Eness, newsflash, buddy, there's like 20 battlers on that card, bruh. So maybe you just didn't make the cut. That doesn't mean that this automatically has to do with bad business or is in some way, shape, or form some kind of revenge for you having done a situation on URL. ARP has made it very clear that battlers can move freely. They can do what just so long as you're completing and you're doing what's on the contract. So even if you're on a 5-battle deal, a 5-year deal with RBE, you're able to move around. So for you guys saying, oh, we need to keep the same energy. No, we don't. It's not the same situation. Eness would not have been able to do a situation on RBE if he was locked in with URL. It's a completely different situation. But also, here's why this is such a different situation, brother, than anything that would have been involved with URL if this was happening with URL. ARP, bro, as soon as I saw this blog pop up, I was going to make a blog on it. I saw this blog at maybe 11 o'clock this morning, and I was going to blog on it. And I was going to say pretty much and make the same points that I'm making here. But ARP, within the hour of this coming out and this dropping, ARP was on a live stream with Eness. Within the hour. Within the hour, ARP was on a live stream with Eness, bruh, addressing this battler's grievances for the public to see. That is transparency. We also not keeping the same energy because besides it not being the same situation, ARP is the type of league owner who's going to directly get in contact with the battler who has the grievance and resolve the issue. And that's exactly what happened within the hour. So much respect to ARP for that. For nipping that narrative right in the bud, bruh, as soon as it started to become a thing. Because when I saw the blog pop up, I was going to blog on it as well. Because I saw way too many people in the comments talking about, oh, we need to keep the same energy now. Oh, RBE's doing bad business. Bro, these are completely different situations. On RBE, you're able to move around. ARP is not preventing the battler from moving around and doing another situation and getting their bag. That's the difference here between the two. If it was URL, they would be preventing a battler from getting the bag somewhere else, even though they're not on any upcoming cards. That's the difference. So before people speak and start to say things like that, we need to fully understand what the details are, bro, and what's really going on, because people are so quick and want to be so quick to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, same energy, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to do that, make sure that it's under the correct circumstance. Make sure that it's under the correct circumstance.
The politics, how people get caught up in the politics. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been doing a lot of small rooms on ARP. Yeah. I wasn't in no contract. Then for my consistency, ARP offered me a three battle contract. So now I had Gwitty, Coach Coleon, and A-Ward. The A-Ward being, you know, one of the bigger battles out of the other two names on a really big card. And here comes the May 10th card, and I have no opponent.
So you and A-Ward.
Which would be me and A-Ward would have been a good matchup. So,
and let's say, right? Let's say, hypothetically, let's say, even if, right, ARP did decide to not put Enes on that May 6th card because he just recently decided to do a situation with the competitor league, URL. He didn't block it or anything. He didn't try to block it or anything. He let him do the situation. Hypothetically, even if ARP didn't put him on that card because of that, bruh, Enes still has the ability to move around and do other situations. Unlike when a battler is under an exclusive contract over at URL, you would not be able to move around and do other situations. You would be stuck with no future bookings, no future looks, and no guarantee nothing. You would just be stuck. So when we say we got to keep the same energy, bruh, no, we don't. No, we don't. Now, if ARP was preventing Enes from doing other situations, especially the competitor URL, then I'd be on ARP's neck. Then we'd have our foot on ARP's neck. Like, you're not booking Enes, but you're also not allowing this man to do other opportunities and get other bags. Oh yeah, we on your ass, boy. We on that ass, boy. But that's not the case. So even if ARP, as a business decision, decided to not book Enes on his upcoming May 6th card because Enes did the situation on URL, ARP, Enes, you can still do another opportunity somewhere else. Maybe this May 6th card just wasn't for you. Maybe you just didn't make that cut, bro. ARP's got a lot of good battles on the card. Maybe one of the opponents that ARP was trying to put you against wasn't working out. Maybe he couldn't get A-Ward on the card to battle you. Maybe he couldn't get the other person, Coach Corleone, to battle you. Maybe just that situation just didn't work out in that way. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
I'm reaching out to, you know what I mean, to the top brass over there, and they saying the match was already booked, and that might be so, but I was already booked these three battles last year before the year turned around. So why wouldn't I make the May 10th call? But I know where that comes from. Smack brought me out to the last battle in Atlanta. You know what I mean? But like I said, when I came over to ARP, I voiced my opinion. I think I'm gonna get caught up in a squabble shit. I'm a battle rapper, I do a service. My alliance is not to nobody but the culture.
Gotcha.
I show up and show out, that's it. So how I'm not being fulfilling my contract because, you know, I want to be able to have any obligations anywhere to go do my thing. I'm not saying that ARP has any restrictions or boundaries, and I'm trying to fulfill my contract. That's it.
Gotcha.
And you will, Enes. Like, you will fulfill your contract. You will. Again, he says it here. This is why I don't understand why people, you need to keep it saying. He says it. ARP has no restrictions and no boundaries. So you could do whatever you please. ARP's contract pretty much is stating that at some point you're gonna get to battle these people. And in the meantime, you can move around freely however you want. You can do whatever you want. You could even battle on our competitor, bro, URL. You could even do that. You know what I'm saying? No restrictions, no boundaries. But it's I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. Like, yeah, we've been having a conversation about battle rappers and, you know, but if you have the ability to move around, there is no restriction. There is no boundaries. You said it yourself. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this, and that. And ARP, you're going to have me under this contract. And I'm going to expect for you to book me on this card and this card and this card. I'm going to expect for you to do this and this. Bro, some things have to be worked out. Like, some things have to be worked. Like, for example, ARP got 10 battles on his upcoming card, bro. 10 battles. That's, if you ask me, too many battles, bro. How's he going to fit you on the... I don't know, man. I think Enes, I think Enes kind of jumped the gun, you know what I'm saying, on the situation, and I just really feel like it has to do with him feeling away, not being on this upcoming card. You know what I'm saying? Specifically. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that Murder Mook is on the card, you know what I'm saying, and it's going to be a good look or whatever the case is, but Enes is just more so upset at the fact that he's not on this upcoming card. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's not being restricted, bro. Or being held, like he's not being restricted and he's able to move around as he pleases, which is the way that it should be. You should be allowed to move around however you please. So I don't see what the issue is here, but also ARP quickly nipped this in the bud, bro. And I got to respect ARP for that, because when it comes to other places, you know what I'm saying, and other politics and business, that's not the case, man. We just have battle rappers that speak out and have grievances, and they never get addressed. You know what I'm saying? But somebody like ARP does it within the hour, bro. So this is a very interesting situation between Enes and ARP. Last I saw, Enes and ARP worked out whatever grievance it was. They both, you know, let each other know what was up. You know what I'm saying? ARP lets Enes know what was up. Enes lets ARP knows how he was feeling and blah, blah, blah. And we nipped this narrative right in the bud, bro. So let me know what y'all think of this, man. You already know what it is. It's your boy Joe coming at you live and direct from the battle.